He had been startled from the laptop screen due to the sounds of the door being unlocked, and after looking around to make sure he had heard what he thought he had, he decided to wait a couple of seconds. He wanted to make sure he was positive. The thing's movements were bound to be happening around this time, and if he heard the door being closed, he would know what to do. Sure enough, moments later, the sound of the entrance to the house being shut sounded out, and he knew that he needed to act then. If he didn't, he would come to regret it. Immediately, he had gotten up out of the chair, turned towards the bed, and had run, jumping in the air. He had landed on the mattress with a soft thud, and as quickly as he could, had scrambled underneath the covers and pulled them up to his neck. He was familiar with what the monster's pattern was. It had happened that often now, that when he saw the time reach 11:30, he would listen out for the usual sound of the latch, followed by the moan. And his instincts would kick in. In these late hours of the night, he needed to be careful. The way the events usually unfolded was that after the monster had made its way into the house, it would come up the stairs to his room and open his bedroom door. The light would be turned on, and it would look around for a while. For those precious 15 seconds or so, he would keep his eyes tight shut and his body completely still, not that he had a choice in the matter. He was so frightened that even if he did want to move, he wouldn't be able to. In a way, he was grateful for that fear. He would never have to roll over and look at the thing as it said his name with that tone of burning anger. He had learned not to make it angry. When the monster was angry, it caused him pain. He never wanted to experience it like he had the first time. Never again. The seconds would seem to tick on forever. The sands of time would run slow, creating another form of torture for the boy while he lay there, listening to nothing but the murmurs of the beast. But thankfully, after the time had passed, and finally the creature was satisfied that the boy was fast asleep, it would leave, turning and walking away, moving on to its next objective. But still the boy would not move. He would wait as long as it took, seconds, minutes, hours, just laying there, frozen in a cocoon of fear. Thoughts running through his head at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Thoughts hoping that the monster wouldn't return. Thoughts deciding what he would do if it returned. Would he get up and fight it? Or would he simply take the punishment it would deal out? Sometimes he thought the creature knew he was faking sleep. It would chuckle to itself sometimes, and the boy was positive he knew what was on its mind. You think you can fool me by faking sleep? You're going to regret that, boy. I'm going to teach you not to think me a fool. It was his own mind, driving him crazy with fear at the what-ifs, until he would hear the door to the bedroom down the hall open and close. And at that point, he knew he would be safe. He would take a sigh of relief and wipe the sweat from his body. Another sequence of events had gone by, and when the boy woke up in the morning, the house would be empty again. He wouldn't have to deal with the fear until the next night. Of course, he had thought of running away from the house many times over the years. Had thought maybe it was best that he fend for himself out in the world, live on the streets until he came of the age he could work for money, earn his keep. But whenever he would get close to the decision, he would think twice. Being in the house made him fear every day, but being out in the world, that scared him even more. There are much more terrible things out there than this monster, and he knew it. So he waited in fear every night, waited until the monster retreated to its bedroom. Once it was there, he knew it was gone for the night. It would crawl into the bed and lay there until the next morning, and when it got up, it would head out again, go to the place where they paid it to do its job. That liquid it drank, whiskey, the monster called it, would do its work. At least it could do that right after all these years, and the boy was grateful for that. That one good thing that this whiskey could do was make the monster, his father, go to sleep.